he's kind of a tool. He always shows up late. He didn't really talk to us. He's just, oh.
Oh, hey, didn't see that.
What's going on?
What's up, big guy?
Okay. Well, what an interesting game. Very proud of our guys tonight. Down 6-0 early in the ball game. Made some mistakes, made some errors, but I give Charlie Barnes a lot of credit. He never lost his composure. He kept competing, kept executing pitches. He did an outstanding job after the third inning. You give up 6 runs in the first 3 innings, and then threw up nothing but zeros there until we had to take him out. He was starting to fatigue a little bit, but he did a great job of battling for us and gave us a great start. Offensively, the name of the game for us tonight, we did a really good job of staying in the strike zone, not coming out of the strike zone even when we were down by 6. We knew that we were going to have to put together some quality at-bats, and we did just that in the third, and we broke it open. With a pair of homers there in the third inning, the grand slam by this guy, definitely helped. And I think we hit 7 home runs tonight. Just overall, we did a really good job of staying with our game plan, of staying in the strike zone, not chasing out of the zone too much, taking the free pass and capitalizing on it when they did walk us. And Charlie Barnes did a fantastic job of giving us a chance after a tough start. But, again, it just shows our toughness. It shows that this club, down by 6 early in the game, they're very confident. They believe that they're going to find a way to get back in the ball game, and they did just that. So very proud of them, and know we've got a tough road ahead of us. We've got a really good Oklahoma State ball club that we got to face tomorrow. We need to play a cleaner game of baseball, that's for sure. But overall, we'll take a win in Game 1 any day.
How close were you to pulling Charlie in the top of the third, and how important was that bottom half in letting you do what you wanted to do with the bullpen?
I never thought about pulling him at all. Didn't even consider it because he was doing his job. I mean, he was executing pitches. He didn't put himself in trouble because of what he was doing. I mean, he got a leadoff out that turned into an error. Then they tried to bunt. We dropped the ball. It just happened. We made back-to-back errors right there, and and then they flared some balls. They had some balls fall their way. But I thought Charlie was doing his job. We just had to do a better job behind him and not put him in that position. But you got to give Western credit. They put together a big inning, and capitalized on our mistakes. But we did a really good job of bouncing back in the bottom of that inning and obviously, stringing quality at bat after quality at bat together and breaking it open and then. I think we had 5 big innings in this ball game, so we swung the bats well and took advantage of the free pass.
Coach, when the team come off the field down 6-0, you met them out there. What did you say to them?
Just relax. Just do what we do. I mean, that's the big thing is don't get frustrated. Don't let it get away from you. Just relax. Stay the course like you've done all year. We've been here before. We've done it before. Stay relaxed. Put together good at bats. We knew that we were going to find a way to put together some quality at bats against their pitching. We knew we would do it because we've done it time and time again. So our guys were very confident and really just wanted them to take a deep breath and relax. And they did a great job. Obviously responded very, very well in the bottom half of the inning.
Chris, did you have any idea that you guys were going to bomb it the way you did tonight? I mean, just 7 home runs.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past us. We have a great offense, we have a great offensive approach, and when we stick to it, it's pretty special. So, we had a good night. We got to move on to tomorrow, enjoy it while we can here, and got a good Oklahoma State team tomorrow, and we're ready to play them.
For you and the team, was this just an extension of what happened last week at the ACC tournament with all these home runs?
I mean, yeah, I think from last weekend, us swinging the bats kind of led into this weekend, but we were down 6 and, we found a way to come back, and we've been doing that all year, so it was a great team effort.
Winning that at bat for the grand slam, I think you got ahead in the count 2-0. Were you sitting fastball? Is that what you ended up hitting? Just kind of take us through that.
He was struggling to find fastball command early in that bat. Obviously
get into a 2-0 count, you can kind of, take a little breath and say, I got some space and room to work with. And I really just zoned in on a certain pitch in a certain spot, and he threw it in that area, and I guess I put a good swing on it.
You spent a lot of the second half of your season getting walked. Was it kind of nice to see the three guys in front of you get a free pass and then there's bases loaded, so there's nowhere to put you?
I see it more as a situation that, it's an opportunity to score runs. And, obviously in that situation, we were down by a run. So I was just trying to go up there and do my job. And, if my job, any other time is getting on base for those guys to bump me in, like this guy and this guy, then I'm cool with that. But, it was cool to be able to put that good swing on the ball and, get us up.
What were you thinking when you were watching their new pitcher warm up? Like, how do you approach that when they bring in a new guy?
I think obviously coach goes over the report on what the guy has, and you just kind of have to zone in on where your load will start. Because they all have different mechanisms. When it comes to picking up their leg or timing wise, and just figuring out what that is, and then just relaxing and just going up there and not really thinking about it, and just going up there and try to keep a clear mind and have some fun.
Monte, you've said it all season that there's two things you can't defend, the walk and the homer. How nice was it that those two things paid off in a big way tonight?
Well, it's what we do, and it's worked for us, all year long in terms of putting together big innings. It's very difficult to put together a big inning in baseball where you score 3 runs or more if it doesn't involve errors or a hit by pitch or a walk, stolen base, free 90. So, we took advantage of that tonight. We also understand moving forward that we've got a really good team that we got to play tomorrow. We got to do a really good job of staying disciplined within our approaches and try to find a way to score runs tomorrow. But good Lord, we've been swinging the bats really, really well, and I'm proud of our guys for sticking with the process of doing a really good job of staying within their approaches and not trying to do too much. We had very few guys come out of the strike zone today with their swings, and that's just a testament to these guys buying in and doing a really good job of putting themselves in good counts to hit.
You and any other player, whenever you guys start scoring runs there in the third inning and that whole stadium erupts in a sellout crowd, what does that do for you?
Well, I mean, it's an electric atmosphere. It energizes a ball club real fast, and it's awesome to see our fan base behind us like that. It's unbelievable. Just seeing the sea of orange and purple pulling for our guys that loud. We're just really appreciative of our fans and what they do for us and the home field advantage that they provide for us by pulling so hard for our guys.
Monte, despite all those runs that you scored tonight and against Florida State, you've also given up double-digit runs back-to-back games. Does that worry you right now at all?
Of course it does. I mean, we don't want to give up double-digit runs. I mean, there's no question about it. But at the end of the day, we find ways. We talked to our team a lot about. You got to find ways to win regardless. If you give up runs, you got to score runs. If there's going to be days where we win 2-1, there's going to be days where we win 12-10. That's just what we do. Our team finds ways to win in different ways, but obviously we don't want to give up 10 runs in a ball game. We understand that. Our guys understand that, and it just again we made some physical errors, and we have made some errors. But you know what? You can't do anything about it. I mean, there's nothing that you can do about it. I promise you this. You start talking about it and start yelling at the guys about it and getting on them about it, I promise you one thing, they'll start making more of them. So I don't get on our guys about physical mistakes. I just want them to be aggressive, and that's what they did. They were very, very aggressive in the strike zone when they got pitches to hit, and we knew we were going to have to score runs. Charlie Barnes did a good job for us tonight. Again, he gave up 6 runs in the first 3 innings, and the guy stayed out there and executed pitches and threw up zeros for the next 3 innings. So it says a lot about Charlie Barnes. And Clay Schmidt's going to throw strikes. I mean, he's going to go out there and give us a chance. He's going to pound the strike zone. Oklahoma State's a really good club. They got a really good pitching staff, and we got to put together a really good game tomorrow. But, does it concern you when you give up a good bit of runs? Of course it does. But at the end of the day, my ball club found a way to win, and I'm proud of their efforts.
Monte, the way you managed that third inning when you guys were putting the comeback, is that maybe the byproduct of the postseason, going with those 2 pinch hitters for the righty-lefty when you did, and maybe in a regular season game you might not do that? Does that speak to not wanting to get behind the 8 ball and maybe get the lead there?
I don't really manage any different because it's the postseason versus the regular season. I just look at it as an opportunity to try to match up. I felt like left-handed hitters was the best matchup versus their righty, and it worked out for us. So it was really, to me, just more about the matchup, and I wanted to get Triller in the game because I felt like, and Triller's been swinging the bat really, really well for us, and for us to come back, we needed to stack some lefties in there against that righty to put together some good at-bats.
Coach, speaking of Triller, as high as he's been, do you keep him in the lineup tomorrow regardless of lefty-righty, or have you made that decision?
I haven't made that decision. I mean, I got to see who they're throwing first, but you know, we try to stick to what has worked for our team. We're 43-18 for a reason, and if you look at our offense and what we've done, you know, sometimes you say, well, you know, why don't you stick with this guy in a DH spot, or why don't you, make this guy a starter? And I mean, at the end of the day, we do what we do, and we find a way to win with the guys that we have. KJ Bryant's hitting 300 versus left-handed pitchers, so it's foolish to take a guy that hits 300 and is the second, probably one of the top 2 fastest kids on our team, and take him out of the lineup versus left-handed pitching. He does a really good job versus left-handed pitching. We're also 13-1 when KJ starts. So he does a really good job for us. So, yeah, it's worked for us. This is a team, and we're going to find a way to put the pieces together to help us win each and every ball game. And, Triller has done an unbelievable job for us. Obviously, with him swinging the bat well against a lefty, it makes me feel a little more comfortable leaving him in there and not trying to bring a right-hander in if he's in the game. But at the end of the day, the decision to play KJ is really based on the matchup and the fact that he's done a good job for us all year when he's gotten his opportunities.
Chris, how good does it feel to win an NCAA game now in your 3rd year?
Feels good. It does feel good. Hopefully we can keep it rolling. And like Coach said, we have a tough game tomorrow, and we need to be focused and ready to roll.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Coach, we're doing a story about your bat boy, Zach. Can you just tell us how important he is to your guys' team?
Well, when you say the word Zach, you see what their faces do, Zach brings joy to the dugout. I think that's the big thing that he does. He gets our guys fired up and excited. He keeps them loose. But our guys love having Zach in the dugout. I found out that he's got to work tomorrow. I might call his boss and see if I can, get him out of it, so he can come back. But he's really, really special to our team. When I'm sitting in the locker room, I know when Zach comes in the facility because everybody starts yelling and screaming. That's just how much they enjoy having Zach Buchanan on the field with us. He just keeps everybody loose. He's got a great personality, great sense of humor, and we love having him here.
Anybody else have to say anything about him?
He's right.
Hey, Coach, one more question about Oklahoma State. Do you know anything about Oklahoma State yet? You guys obviously haven't played them this year, but are you familiar with that program? Familiar with what Coach Holliday does or anything like that going into tomorrow's game?
Well, they're very well coached. It's a very good defensive ball club. Their shortstop is a high-round draft pick talent. Their second baseman's a really good player. They've got some power. They've got some speed. They've got a really good pitching staff, one of the better pitching staffs in their league. So I know this, they're a really good club. And it was a preseason top 10 team in the country for a reason. And Josh Holliday's one of the best coaches in the country. He's done a great job wherever he's been. He's been at Vanderbilt, Arizona State, Georgia Tech, NC State. Everywhere he's been, they've had success. So, and his pitching coach was at Oral Roberts forever, and they were very successful there. So he's got a really, really good coaching staff, and he's got a good team. So it's going to be an unbelievable tough test for us, and we need to be hitting on all cylinders. We need to get a great start out of Clay. We got to play good defensively, and we got to keep putting together good at bats against a good arm tomorrow. It's going to be a dogfight for us to win that game tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.